with the Office of Research and Data Analysis, the South Carolina Department of Education. This is being recorded as well as a transcript. I'm going to share my screen. Here you see a sample file that mimics what is sent to the vendor for SC Ready and for end of course. The data here is fake data. There are a few extra columns in this file for each district to use for QC that are not in the vendor files. And that is the purpose of this video, is for you to see what those columns are. Starting in column A, we have your typical school district information as listed for each student. The first column that shows QC information is column AN, and it's referencing AM. The first of these two is what's sent to the vendor. The second is what is from PowerSchool. That is why there's a PS behind that. The PowerSchool column is what was received from the district. If there's a value there, the value has some type of need for cleaning in order for the vendor to take it. Here, the vendor requires all uppercase letters, so we have changed the lowercase v to an uppercase V for William Henry Harrison IV. The next one to see here is AV and AW, where in PowerSchool we received a lowercase m for male, so we changed it to uppercase as they required an uppercase letter. As we move through, we see the same thing for BN and BO. English PowerSchool here has an 8 that is not acceptable. When it's not acceptable and the value is not known, we change it to the default. In this case, that is a blank. For ELA Custom, Math Custom, Science Custom, Social Studies Custom, we change the ones in PowerSchool that are not still in use to an NA. So zeros become an NA, as well as any other data we find that's no longer valid. For ELA Oral, Math Oral, Science Oral, Social Studies Oral, we change those that are no longer valid into NA. So we have OA, N, OS, we have 1. Those are the types of values being changed to not applicable. Then we have a column that was added this year for the vendor to see some shipping information. It's a 3-digit number that the district was providing, and that's in CU. I'm going to go to Math Oral PowerSchool, add a filter, and when you distribute this to your schools, they can filter down to the data that is not correct. In this case, we have an OS and we have a 1. Determine which schools they are. So for the OS, we have Sample Elementary 01, and for the second example is also Sample Elementary 01. So the same school would be in charge of looking at this data. Elizabeth Monroe has her state ID and her student ID here. Martin Van Buren has his state ID, his student ID here. And from that, they can determine if the true information is the default of NA, or if something else needs to be entered before the final collection so that we can pass off the correct data or pre-code to the vendor. With that, that is the end of this video. And I thank you for watching. Have a good day.